budget. We just don't have room to move. We're opening with CTA a week from today for next year's contract with them. If you're unhappy with the 3 and you want to start opening some language in the contract to see if we can find money like we did last year, we're open to doing that. But we are where we are with the increase.
Our understanding was that there was $6 million from the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Act, $5 million of which was available because $1 million went to the charter schools, so that there was $5 million earmarked for safety of the students, i.e. the police.
But we were not able to use the money. We're not able to use the money for raising salaries of our current officers. We're to use it to hire new officers.
Right. Okay. So that money is still out there. Has it been used?
It's been used this year, yeah, to hire additional officers and then to do the contract work that we need to do to cover the gaps.
You had acknowledged the compression issue last time, and I think a few times before. Yes.
Yes.
You recognize there's a compression issue.
It's a compression issue across the district with all our groups.
We, as far as our bargaining on this session, we would have no other changes. The money is our change. The 6% is where we are. So we are at impasse on the money.
Okay.
I will send a notice to PERC, and I'll let them know that we are at impasse. We'll select a magistrate. I've been through that process before, so we'll do it, and we'll lay out what's happening at the sister agencies, and he or she will make a report and recommendation that will go to the board, and we'll have a hearing, and we'll take it from there. Fellas, anything else? You want to talk about administration salaries? Kevin, you're welcome to.
Good morning. I'd like to say, first of all, it's beneficial for us that this is audio tape and videotape because of after the last round of bargaining, the communication that I received, I was very happy with, and I had to be honest, and most of it was definitely negative. And after today, I can imagine after this hits the airwaves, I want to say that our phones will be even more busier. But the membership brought up the following to me, and I'm going to read verbatim, is that, I'm going to use the word members. If you recall that our last round of negotiations, we came to a 5% salary increase, whereas we temporarily suspended the paper performance money and the attendance stipend, which, if I remember correctly, equated to 1 1/3%. So therefore, just argument's sake, the district kicked in 3 2/3, and we did 1 2/3 to come to 5. But it's come to our attention that that I'll use the word members of the command staff, or whatever term you want to use, they received an annual raise of 5%. Now, and I'm not begrudging them that. The issue is with that is that we help self-fund our 5%. They're not members of our bargaining group. What did they help do to augment that? They have nothing. So our membership feels and is quite angered of that fact. Again, we're not begrudging anybody a raise, but they feel that they're owed money. And I'm going to read something in impassioned from one of our members, because I think it really hits their heart. People are not happy. If police supervisors were given 5% raises, the officers that are the face of the department, as well as the backbone, should be compensated accordingly. Voters approved the tax base on their positive impression of our on-site police officers, as well as the need for increased security. I doubt that the voters believe that individuals who sit behind desks were going to see larger raises than on-site officers, taking into account that 1 2/3% that we temporarily suspended. That's me going off on a different subject. We are not asking to have raises to compete with PBSO, but we believe we are just as worthy of a 5% raise as the executive level staff. In fact, I believe for morale purposes that it is imperative that we are recognized as true assets of our department and compensated accordingly. I think that was very eloquently done and an impassioned plea to the school district, and additionally people were very disheartened to hear that after when we caucused last time for 30 minutes and we came back and it was the same offer and allegedly, that it was a communication with the superintendent who said 3%. So people are not very happy with what happened last time, and I can assure you are not going to be happy now.
James?
Good morning again. I'm going to truly say I'm not disappointed, but I will say this. The academy is training new officers every day, training people to become officers. Those people are going to need guidance in the future. Some are going to come to school police. You have veterans officers here who are certified to train but won't train. You have veteran officers who don't want to be put in a position to where they have to mentor a new officer. What is the district going to do in the future when all that knowledge and wisdom walks out the door? When all that knowledge and wisdom go to other agencies? I've seen that. When I first started law enforcement in 1995 in the city of Boynton Beach was a revolving door. And I left because there was no benefit at that time financially to stay at Boynton PD. Then I worked in Palm Beach Gardens. It was a pretty good department to work for. But I found something better for family. And I enjoy working with children, so I applied, got hired in 2001 by Jim Kelly, and I became a school police officer, and I have enjoyed my job. Truly, I have enjoyed working for Palm Beach County School District. The last time I stated, May 18th, I am a free agent. My son graduates from Seminole Ridge High School May 17th. And at that point, I have a decision to make. Do I stay here and go through that, or do I go someplace to where I can work, keep my FRS, and make my current salary 12 months later? This is the thing that the district gonna have to think about. You want the greatest. You want to retain the greatest. You brought in one of the best chiefs in Palm Beach County to help take this agency to the next level. But if the officers who have helped build this department and maintained this department over the last 25 years don't feel like they are appreciated, they're always being, given scraps, your younger officers are going to look at us veteran officers and say, I'm not going to stay here for this. I can go somewhere else financially and work 3 days a week, 2 days a week, and be off 5, have a 5 and 2 where I'm off every other weekend, and enjoy my family. I don't think the school district wants to become a revolving door, training officers to go other places. But if this continues, and I understand budgets, I understand the school district has 2 different budgets. There's an operating budget, which salary is attached to, health insurance is attached to, and there's a capital budget for buildings and maintenance and vehicles. I understand that. But at some point, school safety, and you have to look at the people that provide safety, those are your police officers. Like I stated before, I get phone calls teachers don't get. Last Thursday, I'm en route to my school. I had an assistant principal calling me about helicopters near the school. Come to find out, it was a domestic situation with a barricaded subject with a firearm. You know who was on those gates? You know who was manning the gates when the school went into lockdown? I didn't see one teacher there. I didn't see one bus driver there. I didn't see a custodian there or cafeteria worker there. I saw Palm Beach County School District police officers ready to take a bullet, ready to fire, ready, but keeping the schools safe. And yes, we have a compression issue, we have a salary issue, and I understand the school district, unlike the county and municipalities in this county, cannot generate income because we don't, have the right to charge for permits, we don't have the right to tax for water or electric or none of that. But I believe that some of that money that's sitting in reserves can be used to appreciate your police officers. So I want to thank y'all for your time this morning, and I'm done.
Alex?
Yeah, I have something I wanted to add. With the teachers, that penny sales tax that they just got, they're going to be getting a certain amount of money compared to how many years they have. That's going to address their compression issue. Am I correct by saying that?
It's a supplement. It's not added to their base wage, their base salary.
But it's added to this.
It does address their compression, and you were free to give us an offer within the 3% that would address the compression, or even within your 6%, but you chose not to do that. You gave us a flat 6%. So I'm not sure what point you're trying to make.
The point I'm trying to make is two negotiations ago, we brought that up again, the compression issue. Your side once again acknowledged it, said they know it was an issue, and they would look into it. A year after, another negotiation, same thing. Compression issue, your side acknowledges it, nods their head, moves on, forgets about it. Here we are a year later, we still have the same compression issue. Let me back up a little bit. Last year, the issue, and I can go back to the tapes if I don't remember the exact words, the compression issues were addressed by your side by saying that would cost the district a lot of money because they would have to do the same for the teachers. Well, now it's done for the teachers from the 1%, from the 1%, 1 penny sales tax. So that issue is out of the way for now, for the time being. Now to address this smaller union of 230, I believe we have, Chief, am I correct? Somewhere in that range. And with this money from the Stone and Douglas that alleviated some pressure, because it did alleviate some pressure off of our budget. If it's coming from somewhere else, we still got the same budget. I'm sure there's areas where some money can be shuffled around to address the smaller union and address that compression issue. You're asking us to fund our own, an issue that you guys created by our own contract over and over again, and it doesn't make sense. You just said that we could have addressed it with the 3%, which is what you offered, and that we didn't even address it with the 6% that we were asking for. The 6% that we were asking for was denied, flat out. So that was no longer on the table to even address it with that money. But that's all I have.
Mike?
I think we need to be careful too on how you're approaching this. Look at some of our sister cities. I'll give you one perfect example is the town of Palm Beach. They thought that they could nickel and dime keeping their officers. I'm sure we've all been up on the newspapers. They lost 80 officers since 2012, I want to say. The fire department, same thing. It's now become a training ground. Now it's costing them more money because they decided now we made a mistake. You can take care of the problem now at a price that's not going to be what it will be 8 years from now, and then you're going to be trying to catch back up. You're going to try to save a dime today. It's going to cost you $1 tomorrow. So you can make the choice, either pay it now or pay it later. It's one way or the other. And if you want this to become a training ground, that's exactly what's going to end up happening.
Guys have anything else?
No.
Anything else? Do we have any other business?
No, we don't. Under the rules of PERC, we'll still have to continue bargaining. So if you can get me some dates that you're available, we'll see what we can do.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Thank you.